everyone, happy long weekend. This is the Independence Day edition of News Generation. Coming up, highlights of Independence Day and what the day means to you. Also, 20 first-year senior high school students awarded by the president. And we visit Dago, a community in the eastern region. They have never had light. We tell you how life is like there. My name is Efua Akwa Harrison. Please stay with us. Remember, you can catch up with us on social media. It's facebook.com/NewsGenerationGH. We're also on Twitter @NewsGenG8. 58 years. That's how old Ghana is. Hooray! It is the day we celebrate our freedom as a people. Thousands of Ghanaians, including school children, featured prominently in the celebrations. So what does Independence Day mean to you?
You've been practicing since February, right? And on the D-Day you couldn't make it. How do you feel now?
I feel bad. I feel so bad.
How long have you been practicing?
I think about 6 or 5 days.
6 or 5 days. And you were prepared for this day, right?
Yes.
Did you even sleep last night?
Yes, I slept.
But you were dreaming about today?
Yes.
As early as 6:30 a.m., hundreds of Ghanaians from all walks of life had started filling the stands at the Black Star Square. As time went on, the crowd grew thicker. Some had come from far-off places, while others had skipped work just to witness the parade.
Okay, me myself, I've come to work, but as I've come to work today, it's not going well, so I decided just to pass through.
Where do you work?
I'm a taxi driver.
Okay. Yeah. So you've parked your taxi?
Yeah.
Where?
Somewhere back there.
The parade contingent, made up of 1,200 basic and second cycle school children and the ceremonial guard of honor, marched onto the parade grounds at 8:25 a.m. President Mahama inspected the parade some 20 minutes later when he arrived, paving way for the first part of the day's ceremony to begin.
On parade. Approaching the days, we have Mr. D.A. Annan, Director, British Accra.
The parade itself was colorful as it was historic.
The Ghana Armed Forces Counter-Terrorism Team. We now have marching towards their days. An all-female.
The new additions to the program, particularly the air assault drill by a combined team of Army and Air Force personnel, and a display by an all-female motor riders unit of the police MTTD, drew loud cheers from the public. Without a doubt, Friday's parade was meant to showcase the level of sophistication of the nation's security services. And if the crowd's reaction is anything to go by, they had a great deal of fun. Niakrofis Matabe, Joy News, Black Star Square.
You know, not every Ghanaian was aware that 6 March is Independence Day. Let's have a look.
What does today mean to you as a Ghanaian?
We have marched. We have marched.
You have marched.
Yes.
And then what's next?
That means we are Ghanaians.
When you march means you are Ghanaians.
Yes.
So you think Independence Day is all about marching?
Today is Independence Day.
What does it mean? What does independence mean?
I forgot.
You forgot it. But did you go and march?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. My sister said I should march.
No, you just said you should go and march. That's why you went to march. And what day is today?
Today is 6th of March, Independence Day.
What does independence mean?
It means that the day that the day Ghana became a republic.
Okay, so not all school children get the chance to celebrate the Independence Day at a parade. So children of the Barnes Memorial Institute celebrated in a different way. They marked the day with a cultural display from all 10 regions of Ghana.
A place where the pride of youthful age life of Sergeant, our founder, was a man who understood that education was the only key to success.
It is another time to remember Ghana's heroes.
Edward Akufo-Addo, one of the big things, was born as a Cropon move to educate people on their rights. He teamed up with Generation Epd, Grant, and others on the United Gold Coast Convention.
These young people are celebrating 58 years of independence with a cultural display from all of the country's regions. These are all different kinds of Ghanaian cultural practices. Some of the participants say remembering our culture is essential to preserving it.
I feel happy when I do things like this, and people to appreciate and be proud of it. Help us to know more about the language and dresses of our regions and the history. It helps the people to know the history of their regions.
Understanding the aspect of culture is very important. So the reason I did was to show the others who don't know about my region or what I performed, about the essence of it and how it came about. I'll make sure I always does what is of me so that when others see me, they will come to appreciate the beliefs and the way I behave.
They should not think they are Ghanaians, so they should think the Ghanaian culture is the best. There is no other culture they can find anywhere.
We advise them to copy the dresses and the language of their region, and to be proud of their region.
So we all know by now that Ghana is a year older, 58 years. But what has the country achieved? We spoke to some students of the St. Paul's Lutheran School.
So Ghana is 58, and we would say hooray to that, but what are we really celebrating? And I think the big people have tried to respond to that. So I thought, okay, let's hear from children. Let's see from their own point of view what they think we're celebrating as a state at 58. So we're here at St. Paul's Lutheran School in Kanda to sit down with these beautiful young ladies and young men to hear from their point of view what they think we're celebrating at 58. But I want to hear from you, Herbert. What do you think we're celebrating at 58?
I think we are celebrating the day that Ghana became free from colonial rule.
Abena, what are we celebrating?
I think we're celebrating the day that Ghana gained independence, that is free from colonial rule.
Okay. And I've got to ask you, yeah, what do you think we're celebrating?
Well, when the British were ruling us, they were ruling us very badly because they were buying us and selling us as slaves. So we are celebrating the fact that we are free, and we are free 58 years today.
Okay. So big question, what can we boast of as a state at 58?
Okay. Well, I think in West Africa, Ghana is one of the top most peaceful countries, and we are very welcoming.
Ghana is the leading exporter of cocoa, and that's what Ghana can boast of as a nation.
Okay. And Abena?
We are boasting that Ghana has been independent for a very long time, and we also have rich mineral sources.
I've got another big issue. If just pretend for a little while that you guys are 58. So I want to ask you, at 58-year-old man, what would you be thinking about? What would be going through your mind, Herbert?
How I'll survive without any income. How my children will be. I'm thinking about a lot of things. How I'll be able to live on my own without getting any source of income. what I'll be able to do if I can't survive.
Okay, because obviously at 58 you'll be nearing retirement, so I can understand. Abina, what will be going through your mind at 58?
Well, I'll be thinking of whether my children will be in good hands, how secure my family will be, and what I will do if I have no income, how I'll be able to survive.
Okay. All right, let's get your take.
Okay, obviously, like you said, I'll be thinking of retirement and I'll be reflecting on my life. What have I done? Maybe have I impacted into someone else's life? What good have I done? Maybe to my nation or my community or something like this. And maybe if I pass away, will I be remembered as a good person or as a bad person?
Okay. So let's all stop pretending, because we're not 58 obviously, but our nation is 58. Do you think that the questions that you're asking, the state is asking the same of itself? Herbert, do you think Ghana is asking all these questions on your behalf because you're a child of Ghana?
I don't really think so.
You don't think so?
They were asking these questions. All these stories of people being defrauded, of all these stories of people being raped and all that. I'm not sure it would be there, or the security forces will be alert.
Okay, so that's what you think?
Yes.
Abena?
No, I don't think so. Because there are some children on the streets and they are walking about, they have nothing to do, they have no food, and they are poor, they have nothing, and the state doesn't provide the basic needs that they need for them to survive. And if they do that, the children of Ghana will be able to have the necessary education to become future leaders of our country.
Okay, how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel better if the state provides the basic needs for them.
I think they are thinking about some of them, but they are not thinking about the major ones. Because as Abna said, if the lights are out and we will not be able to study, and obviously we are the future leaders, so if we don't have knowledge about any issue or matters that concern us as Ghanaians, we will not be able to rule the nation properly. So I think that they are just thinking about the political part with campaigning and things, but they're not thinking of us, we the children, and what we'll do in the future.
So what do you want to see? After this conversation and after we've turned 58, what do you want to see?
Well, I want to see an improvement about the Dumso problem. And I also want to see more people on the streets, because now it's not just old women and men that are selling on the streets, but young girls and boys are also found on the streets, and some of them don't even go to school, maybe probably because they can't afford the bills. Yes, so I think it's a very bad thing.
Okay, all right, so I want to say thank you to all of you. Really, thank you for agreeing to speak to me. This is Ampoma, okay, and that's Herbert, and that's Abina Konedu. I will never forget. Thank you. And they are all 12 years, really amazing. They speak a lot of sense. They make sense, and they are brilliant, if you ask me. But thanks to St. Paul's Lutheran School, Kanda, for welcoming us and allowing us to speak to the young children.
Would you like a tablet computer? That would be cool, right? Well, 20 first-year students of different senior high schools got that and more at the President's Independence Day Awards.
Odrotoko Frank from the Boise district of the Ashanti region, a former student of the St. Augustine School and presently a first-year student with the Prempeh College, Kumasi.
14-year-old Frank is one of the 20 students who received the President's Independence Day Prize. He is the youngest of the group, but that didn't make his journey easier.
Before we had to get to this place, we had to go through a series of interviews, and believe me, I was very, very afraid because I knew I wasn't going to qualify. That was the perception first, but after I qualified for the district, I knew I could do it.
Frank and his friends got to meet the Vice President for the first time and were the first recipients to get a tablet computer. They also got a scholarship and some other prizes.
I feel very excited, though at first I was shivering, but I felt normal because he's also a person like me, just that he's a higher dignitary. So I just saw him as one of my own fathers, and I approached him with much confidence.
The oldest amongst you?
Yes, please, I am.
Make you feel?
Somehow I feel bad, but then I think it's all well because it's not about the age, but it's about what you choose to make yourself. Being one amongst 7 children, the only person being educated, and then God really lifted me here to this far, I would say it is my most privilege. God has really made me who I am today. Education is the key to success. Humble yourself.
I've been raised to a status because now I was somebody nowhere. I competed with so many people. Definitely some people might be better than me, but God has granted me the blessing. He has blessed me to this level. Now I have things, I've made a gap. So it will be difficult for them to bridge the gap now.
This award is only going to motivate me to achieve greater heights.
What are you going to use it for?
Actually, I'll use it to communicate with people. I use it for so many things. To read ahead. At times I can acquire more information on the internet, to communicate, so that information that I acquire, I can disseminate it to my friends.
The President's Awards are meant to reward pupils who did well in the BEC, were good in co-curricular activities, and were module pupils. Every year, 2 students are selected from each region to receive the award on the day before the Independence Anniversary celebrations.
Now, ever wondered how it would feel like to live in a community that lacks most of the basic social amenities in life? For many people, it would be very strange to experience that. But in the midst of all these challenges, we meet a young girl who wants to become somebody in future despite her circumstances.
My name is Ophelia. I am 14 years of age. I come from Dago in the Eastern region. I'm attending school at Dago LAGHS. At Dago here, the major occupation here is the farming. Aside that, we have people who are carpenters, masons, seamstresses, and other things.
13 kilometers off the Insawum-Koforidia Road is the Dago community. One thing is very clear on a visit to this place, that is the struggle to survive. 14-year-old Ophelia Aye has lived here all her life. She is in JHS2 at the Dago LA Junior High School. School has closed for the day and Ophelia is going home. At home, Ophelia performs her duties without complaints. She helps to prepare food for her family. At night, the entire Dago community turns dark and silent. Ophelia has finished her household chores and it is time to go through what she was taught in school. She has to rely on torchlights to do so. This is because there is no electricity in Dago.
It is difficult to us to learn in the evening because we don't have lights here. So if you are to learn, you have to hold lights until you finish learning. Before you realize, you become even tired, and so we want lights too. Due to this, the teachers are staying away because there is no light. But if there is light here, they should have stayed with us, watching us if we are learning or not. So I think when the light comes here, the teacher will come and stay here and watch us so that we learn hard.
It's morning and children fetch water for their various house chores. Even though Dago can boast of a river and a single borehole, it is not enough to satisfy the community.
We have water, but it's not enough to us. It's only 2. So when the whole town is to go and fetch, it will create confusion. So we want more boreholes in the town.
Then, there's an issue of an active economy in Dago. According to Ophelia, farmers in her community produce a lot of food, but the dusty and untarred roads prevent the easy transport of goods.
The road is very bad because sometimes if they are to send the food to the market and sell it, sometimes it takes about 3 days on the road because the road is not good. So maybe your car will get spoiled somewhere and you not get any car again until maybe you, the owner, you come to the town and come and get another car and send it.
For more than 8 years, the only public toilet in Dago has not been functional. The people therefore ease themselves in the bushes. That comes with some risk.
When maybe your stomach is even aching, you go there. But people use rubbers, they defecate beside the road, and this all causes sickness.
She believes with the needed help and encouragement from her parents and teachers, she can become someone important in the future.
How would you feel if the Independence Avenue symbol was destroyed? It would be a sad thing for Ghana's history, right? Well, terror group Islamic State is on the world's eye. This time around, they have been destroying historical artifacts in Iraq.
Islamist State militants have bulldozed historical city Nimrud in Iraq. On Thursday, the militant group demolished the site that can be traced back to 13th century BC. The city was a very important historical landmark for many Iraqis. But according to the militant group who want to create an Islamist state in Iraq, the shrines and statues of the ancient city is idolatry. Many archaeologists and officials in Iraq are very unhappy about the issue. They say the Iraqi history has been erased. Iraq director of the United Nations Cultural Agency, UNESCO, has called it a horrible attack on Iraq's heritage. The BBC has been reporting on the issue and is not sure whether the whole city has been destroyed. But witnesses say the members of the militant group took some of the valuable items and bulldozed the rest. The Iraqi Tourism Ministry is calling on the UN Security Council to discuss how to protect the cultural heritage of Iraq. At least a lot of the artifacts that were on the site were moved to museums in Baghdad and other countries overseas before the incident. This means the Iraqi people at least have some of their history intact.
Let's take some other stories now in News Round.
The National Peace Council says it hopes to solve the tension on faith in schools by the end of March. Just over 2 weeks ago, a group of Muslims in Takoradi went to the streets to protest being forced to observe Christianity in schools. The Peace Council is expected to hold a press conference on Wednesday to announce how it will resolve the issue. Ghana has won the Resolution Project Award at this year's Harvard National Model United Nations. It is the second time in 2 years that the Ghana delegation has won the award. They won funding of $1,000 on a concept that highlights the social need of orphans in Ghana. The project was led by Joyce Danso and supported by Mina Jiman, both students of the University of Ghana, Legon, and Alfred Godwin Ajabing from the University of Cape Coast. Liberia has released its last Ebola patient. According to the World Health Organization, Liberia has gone a week without any new cases of the virus. 58-year-old Beatrice Yadolo left a Chinese-run treatment center in the capital, Monrovia, after 2 weeks of treatment. Nearly 10,000 people have died from Ebola. Suspected Boko Haram militants have killed at least 64 people in a village in Borno State, northeast Nigeria. According to witnesses, the gunmen who stormed Njaba targeted men and boys before setting the village on fire. The raid happened early on Tuesday, but was not reported immediately because of how far the area is. Boko Haram has killed thousands of people to establish an Islamic State in Nigeria. A toilet that uses human urine to generate electricity is being tested in Bristol, United Kingdom. This is to see if the technology could power lights in refugee camps. Students at the University of West England, Bristol, have been working with the charity Oxfam to build the urinal. They are currently testing at the university's grounds. The technology, if successful, could be used to provide light for toilets in refugee camps where electricity is scarce. 17-year-old Olympic gold medalist Martha Bisa has reportedly rejected a sports scholarship to the United States. According to the Ghana Athletics Association, Bisa was supposed to leave Ghana earlier this year after the necessary processes had been completed. Joy News checks found that Bisa hasn't gotten back to the association after asking for time to think about the scholarship. It is not yet clear whether the 17-year-old will take advantage of the opportunity or not.
And that's it for this edition of News Generation. Thank you so much for staying with us. Remember, you can always catch up with us on social media. It's News Generation GH. That's on Facebook, and on Twitter, it's at News Generation GH. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.